We don't take an oath to a tribe. We don't take an oath to a religion. We don't take an oath to a king or a queen or to a tyrant or a dictator. And we don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator. We don't take an oath to an individual. We take an oath to the Constitution, and we take an oath to the idea that it's America, and we're willing to die to protect it. Every soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, Guardian, and Coast Guardsman, each of us commits our very life to protect and defend that document, regardless of personal price.
That's General Mark Milley, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff during his retirement ceremony at the Pentagon. That's him saying very clearly what the oath of office for military service members really does mean and to whom their allegiance is pledged. It's been kind of confusing the last few years, hasn't it? With Donald Trump and his fascist ways, it's been questionable where the oath of office has gone. And we are very fortunate as a nation that our United States military members have remembered that their oath of office, their oath of service, is to the Constitution, not a man, not a president, and certainly not, as he says, a wannabe dictator. I haven't always agreed with Mark Milley about some things, I assure you. His policies and my policies haven't always been the same. But I will never fault him for standing up and remembering his oath in a very difficult time in our nation's history for the military, as it's been politicized like no other time in my lifetime. The politicization of the military, I don't think we've seen anything like this since McCarthy. And it's just as dire a circumstance. And Milley's been in the middle of it. Has he done a perfect job? We could argue otherwise. But we can't argue that he's had to navigate a very difficult time. 43 years of service. 43 years of service. One man. His service includes Multinational Force Observers Task Force in Sinai, Egypt, Operation Just Cause in Panama, Operation Uphold Democracy in Haiti, Operation Joint Forge in Bosnia, Operation Iraqi Freedom 3 times, Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan. He also deployed to Colombia, Somalia, and 2 tours on the DMZ in Korea. He served everywhere the nation could possibly send an army officer in the last 4 decades. And Mark Milley was there. We'll remember him a lot for service at what a lot of us jokingly call the Battle of Lafayette Square, when Donald Trump and A.G. Barr had Lafayette Square cleared out during the BLM protest and then walked across the square to hold a Bible that he'd never held before upside down in front of the church. Unfortunately, General Milley walked along with him, something for which he would actually apologize for later and drew him the ire of the commander-in-chief on his way out of service. But that's the thing. In the end, it's the oath. And that oath is the same one that I swore, 1983 for the first time. Standing on the plane, they call it, at West Point, as a brand new cadet. First day you show up at West Point. At the end of the day, they march out in the parade field in the July heat, and you swear an oath. And the oath is similar to this. I do solemnly swear I'll support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I'll bear true faith allegiance to the same. I'll take this obligation without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and I'll well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God. That oath of office was actually part of the very first law the United States Congress passed after passing the Constitution. Right? 1 June 1789, Statute 1, Chapter 1, had to do with the oaths of service that would be sworn by those serving the government and the military. That's how long we've had this. And it's changed a bit since then. During the Civil War, they had to make it a little clearer who the enemy was. But it stood the test of time, an apolitical military, as key to the success of this country. We are lucky to have those who volunteer for service and never forget their duty to this nation, because it infuriates me to no end to have that questioned. To see how the military is being politicized by people like Tommy Tuberville, to see how Donald J. Trump posts this post on his Truth Social app, threatening the chairman of the Joint Chiefs with execution, followed by Congressman Paul Gosar literally saying that. That's where we are today, with Tommy Tuberville holding over 300 general officer promotions because he's mad about a travel policy for healthcare, legal healthcare. That's where the military is at today. But I tell you what, as a service member, as a veteran, as the father of someone who serves right now, we should be proud of those who aren't afraid, who have stepped up and swore their oath to the Constitution, not wannabe fascists like Donald Trump. I'm Fred Wellman, host of On Democracy with FP Wellman, right here on the MeidasTouch Network. I hope you'll check us out. Thanks.